the next presentation from Mr. Tushar Bhaskar. He is Director Sales and Business Development, Rubik's Data Science Private Limited.
Yeah, thanks, Amit. A very good morning to all of you, and it is my pleasure to present Rubik's Data Science and the ARMS platform that we have built. Let me quickly present my screen to you. So very briefly about Rubik's, what do we do and how we are adding a lot of value to the lending space, especially in the case of B2B, which is primarily focusing on SMEs and MSME space. So we started this company in 2018 in Mumbai. We are focused on B2B credit and compliance risk solutions. So from a lending standpoint, we are focusing on helping financial institutions, fintechs, banks, NBFCs to understand the counterparty credit risk when they are lending to any small entity. Now, this small entity can be a manufacturing entity. The small entity can be a dealer or a distributor, especially in case of dealer financing, or it could be a supplier where the invoice financing is being done. How we basically go about evaluation of these companies is one, we look at 120 plus data sources. Some are structured, some are unstructured data. By doing this, we are able to give a risk opinion on any type of entity that we evaluate. So we are working with banks, we are working with fintech companies, especially in the area of supply chain risk financing and supply chain financing, in fact. And as a startup, we are backed by a venture capital fund called Cactus Venture Partners and family offices. We also provide our services to few of the NBFCs, which are into the forex trade financing as well. So even for import-export financing, our platform is capable to give information on entities outside India. And in this regard, we are also working with one of the largest credit insurance companies in India called ECGC, which is one of the largest consumers of overseas counterparty credit risk data in the country. So what we offer to our customers, let's say banks or fintechs and NBFCs, is our platform called Rubik's Automated Risk Management and Monitoring System, which is Rubik's ARMS platform. Now, this platform does three things. One, the risk opinion, anything related to risk data that the entity is looking at, that my clients are looking at, they can get from the platform itself. Second, this platform is able to provide information on even smallest of entities, which are, and the typical pain area for most of the companies is how do we evaluate a partnership or a proprietorship company. So we have built algorithms, we have built data models, which basically helps my clients in understanding what is the counterparty credit risk with respect to partnership and proprietorship companies. And third very important thing done by the platform is the monitoring, the continuous monitoring. Because there are a lot of data points which are changing on any entity that you are evaluating, be it a very large listed company by default, or let's say even a small MSME. There are a lot of data points related to statutory compliances, legal checks, then NCLT cases, or even police record or FIR, even FIR information can be monitored in the country. So my platform is able to do continuous monitoring on any entity that is getting evaluated. And this gives an entire 360-degree view in terms of how the risk is behaving, or the risk profile of an entity is behaving after the first due diligence was done on any counterparty credit risk. So coming to my founding team, we have 4 co-founders. Kaushal is our founder, Mohan is our CEO and co-founder. Both of them were part of the management team at Dun & Bradstreet. Kaushal was their managing director and Mohan was chief operating officer. Samir is our CFO. He was with DNB till 2010. After that, he started his own marketing technology company. And Dr. Vishnu Ramachandran, who's our chief technology and product officer, he was with DNB till 2011, then went on to establish Experian Commercial Bureau. And we have 2 senior advisors on our board. Mr. Tunsley, he's our non-executive chairman, essentially our chairman of the board. He was earlier chairman and managing director at Central Bank of India and CEO of Indian Banking Association. And Samiran is our senior advisor on technology. In fact, he's one of the leading authorities on artificial intelligence in the country. He is on the MIT Technology Review Panel and Global Forbes Technology Council. What we offer to our clients is simply our platform. Through our platform, our clients can review any type of counterparty credit risk that they want to evaluate. So this platform provides you information on any entity that you would want to evaluate in form of risk opinion. So the platform will give you scores on a scale of 0 to 100. Each score has a different band and a different probability of default. We have also built automated credit risk models, which basically also gives you a credit limit recommendation. And very importantly, as I had mentioned, that the platform also does two things. One is the monitoring piece, where after the detailed due diligence has been done, the platform will continuously monitor your counterparty to ensure that if there are any red flags that are emergent or visible, you are aware of it. And since we are providing all the data points through the platform, the entire portfolio scoring and visual analytics is possible through the platform. So where do our platform it can get utilized is now whether you're a lending institution or you're a corporate customer, you can evaluate any borrower, you can evaluate your vendors, you can evaluate your customers, dealers, distributors, and you can evaluate in different depth. So if you're looking at a basic hygiene of your counterparty, so we do provide a basic profiling or a quick check, which basically does a sanitization or a background screen, a very quick background screening of any counterparty that you're dealing with. If you are looking at scoring, which essentially means risk scoring of any entity, we do this business check analysis on the platform. And if you're looking at a very comprehensive, detailed deep dive assessment, which is largely consent based, we are able to provide you information in a very comprehensive manner on the platform itself. So our services can both be availed in a consent manner and obviously in a discrete manner as well. Coming to the data, what do we exactly use? This is just the illustration, not a complete list of 120 data sources that we use. So we use data in form of identity check on entities. We look at ownership data. We look at various compliance data. We do a financial evaluation. We look at bank statements in case of it's a consent based. We look at the operations of the company. We do a lot of, we do a social media screening of the entity. We look at adverse media reporting on the entity. We look at how, in which geographies the entity is selling their product, etc. So essentially, we are not only looking at the financial performance of the entity, but we are looking at a lot of non-financial data points to understand what could be a risk of dealing with a particular entity. And this service is offered for India market as well as any country outside India. So as I had mentioned that we work with banks. So for example, I'm working with the largest public sector banks. I'm working with private sector banks. And whenever they're doing any kind of import financing or export financing, we are able to provide them information. And for any type of due diligence requirement for my customers in India, we are able to provide them information on any part of the world. What I'll do now is I'll shift to my platform to give you a brief 5 minutes demo in terms of how my platform looks like and what type of information you can extract from the platform. So this is how the platform looks like. This essentially will tell you, you can put any type of a counterparty in your supply chain on the platform itself. So be it a customer, dealer, or a distributor, even a competitor. You can get this information on domestic entities. You can get this information on overseas entities, where any country, I mean, whatever country that you're looking at, you can get information by just clicking on the country and typing the name of that particular entity on the platform. On the platform, we basically segregate. So this is the demo environment that we have created. We basically segregate risk in high, medium, and low risk entities. You can get this risk bifurcation by geography, which essentially is the regional bifurcation of the entity. You can get this risk by business segmentation. So whether it is any type of business segments through which the borrower or the customer is entering your business, you can look at the segmental risk. And you will also know about the risk profile, which is the legal constitution of the company. So, I mean, whether this is a small set of companies which are contributing to the risk in your portfolio, or is it the medium or the large size companies which are contributing risk in your portfolio. So what essentially you can do is this is just the dashboard. We give you my portfolio view and obviously the monitoring view that I had mentioned. So I'll just go on the my portfolio view. I'll show you two reports in terms of how you can get information on any type of entity. So I'll let me just
wind up because your time is up.
That I was searching in the morning. Okay. So I'll just take 1 more minute and complete this. So this is how the report looks like, which gets generated on the platform. So it gives you all the detailed background of the entity. It gives you the score on the entity, whether it is a high counterparty risk or a low risk entity. And very importantly, it also provides you the rationale behind the score in terms of how that score has come. So for example, in this particular case, there were issues with the compliance of this particular entity. There were issues with the financials of this particular entity. We do a scanning on the operations and the social media, and then the detailed report follows, which basically gives you a view of what are the risk areas in a particular entity. So, for example, in this case, this company had serious cash flow issues because of delay in the PF payments. There were a lot of litigations on the entity. So, we do a litigation check on an entity, and these litigations are right from Supreme Court to consumer courts, and even the police records are getting checked. And then we provide you information on the ownership, the shareholding, the financial performance, so on and so forth. And very interestingly, this can be done on non-corporate entities as well. So a very small entity with respect to partnership and proprietorship company can also be evaluated in a similar manner. And lastly, the platform will also give you monitoring at a portfolio level and at an entity level. So this is just a representation at a portfolio level that what is the average delay in terms of your portfolio for the number of days? What are the current delays? Are there any legal cases against your counterparties after the detailed due diligence has been done? Are there any PF delays? So all that information is available through the platform itself. So here you can see that roughly around 81 companies where there is a slight delay in the PF. So all that information is available. So this is something which is availed by fintech companies for supply chain financing. This is availed by banks for any type of counterparty credit risk that they are evaluating. And this is also availed by corporate customers as well to understand the counterparty credit risk whenever they are dealing with customers or suppliers. So I've completed my presentation. I'll be happy to take any questions that any one of you.
Tushar, there is one question which I can see. So how do you analyze risk associated with customers having no credit history or records?
Right. So see, we do understand the problem in terms of if any customer does not have any footprint on the credit bureau, and that's where the problem starts. Only 10% of the SMEs in India have any type of footprint on a credit bureau. And we're not utilizing the credit bureau data. That is basically an addition to our data sources. But we're not utilizing the report that I had shown you, and I'll be happy to take anyone in a detailed manner after this particular session. So what we're essentially looking at is the data sources other than the credit bureau footprint. And there are a plethora of data points that are available on any counterparty which you would want to evaluate. So if they do not have any credit history on the credit bureau, we can still evaluate our counterparty. So this is something which is possible, and we are doing it for more than 200 customers in the country now. So roughly about 15 banks, roughly about 10 odd fintech companies, and the rest of them are corporate customers, where these companies are dealing with small entities which may or may not have information on the credit bureau. So I've got a question. What's the frequency of updating the data on the entities? Yes, the frequency is decided by my client. So for example, news feeds can be updated weekly, fortnightly, or even monthly, whichever way you want, or if you want it daily, we can do it daily. But then there are other data points. For example, GST and PF compliance are changing month on month. So that data is available month on month to you. Legal information, the NCLT cases can be checked on a monthly basis and we can provide it to you. So the frequency is decided by the customer. But typically when if I go by the history and the experience, we are basically providing a monthly or a quarterly update to all of our clients. Yeah, so the other question that I have received is, are companies outside India also covered for the compliance sake for the statutory requirements? Yes, the answer is yes. So for companies, when we evaluate companies outside India, we are basically looking at their financial crime, anti-money laundering, transaction with OFAC listed countries, to basically understand if this company will have any kind of a implication, if there is any kind of a sanction is there. And we also look at the local level of compliances So, for example, China will have a different set of compliances. European countries will have different set of compliances. We do look at that. Another question that I have is how do we evaluate proprietorship companies? So we have
Tushar, you can answer that question in the chat because I think we are running out of time here.
Okay.
Thank you,
Sure,
Tushar.
sure.
Thank you for the presentation.